welcome to the 20th BOH Cameronian Arts Award on set. With me today are the nominees of Best Musical and Sound Design in Music Theater. We have Terence Chong here and Kelvin Loh with me. I would like to ask everyone, if you could describe the show, music and sound design in 3 words, what would it be?
More than 3 words, actually. The musical contain a lot of elements, and even though this time the Dream musical is very short musical, but the pace is quite fast. I think the producer, the director also want to create a fast pace catered to the audience flavor now. I mean, everything go very fast now with the tablets, everything. So the musical this time is like, it will like pop, 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 it go very fast. And I don't know, it's like
it's
fast paced and fun. And
fun, another word.
And very emotional.
Emotional.
Yeah.
That's great. And you?
Mine is actually the total opposite.
Yeah.
So Working Dead is actually more of it's a zombie themed show centered around love and the culture of overworking. So the scenes they are fast scenes, but generally there is a more deeper emotional touch to it. So I would say that for 3 words would be emotional, engaging, and entertaining.
Entertaining.
Wow, 3 E's. So nice.
So that's great. That's good enough. Okay. Can you share with us the role in the sound design play in The Working Day and the Dreams, the musical?
Okay. Kevin, do you want to go first?
So for sound design, actually, this would be our 3rd iteration of the show. So
third?
Yes. So we actually had back in 2018 we actually did a workshop production as well. So a lot of the elements are kind of brought forward from the previous one, but we improved it over the shows. So sound element would be things like a lot of gory, a bit more gory, such as bones cracking, thunderstorm, ambulance. Magic.
That added on.
Yeah. So I think because we had on the most recent show, we actually had an LED screen. So we used that to our full advantage, to portray magic, to portray more immersive experiences. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. I actually noticed that, but I didn't realize that there's 3 iterations already because I only saw 2.
The first one we actually did it in 2022. If you remember that place, Ian's place many years ago.
I see. Okay.
That was only Act 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the birth of that musical. Yeah.
For a Dream musical, for this time, sound design actually play a very important part, and because the storyline, and we have to we show 2 different time zones, 2 different places in the same stage. So for the sound design, we have to do some like on stage. Suddenly you have like a champion call in a different zone time, and also like people pass away and they come back on stage and sing that kind of thing. So it makes sense sound effect that people once the character come out and say the words, he already dead, but it's on stage. It's like a flashback. That kind of effects. In the script, actually, they didn't tell us everything. Like they just tell us this guy died and come back to sing the song, and all this kind of sound you have to create in your mind first, and you go and test it out in the theater. So, so the Dream musical this time is quite fun. I mean, they have a lot of these kind of elements, and the storyline keep cutting off, like switching. So all the effects is changing quite fast. So it's fun to design for this show.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate for us to see what's the difference when you bringing somebody dead to show and then the live one? What sort of sound you utilize to differentiate that?
The guy already passed away in an accident, and this girl actually in the States are waiting him to appear to watch the show. So then suddenly when this girl get to know like this guy already passed away in the terrible accidents, and then she felt out very depressed. She don't want to do the show anymore, and this character come out, and I have to give a very high echo. It's like the sound from like angel sound kind of things. It's like it's like you can do. that kind of effects to encourage her to get back on stage and sing.
It's like a hollow type of feeling.
Correct. The hollow type of feelings actually, a lot of people say it's like reverb, it's like echo, but you have to apply the right amount of that thing. Otherwise, it will be very cliche. It's like too much, and it doesn't make sense.
Do you know what's also cliche?
Yeah.
So I just realized that Terence Chong, which is the writer of our musical, also co-writes Dreams. It's also the co-writer for Dreams.
Okay.
So Terence, you're again like say you're fighting amongst yourself. That's why I say, dead.
He was here.
No, I was thinking the story was dead, husband, love, wife, something similar. He's writing our show, he's pitting against the same show actually.
The right and the left hand.
Correct, exactly. You know, it doesn't matter who win, you know.
Yeah.
So
the winner will be him.
So Kevin, how does the sound design complement the humor of the musical, the Working Day?
Okay, so Working Day was actually written by me, Lydia, and Terence. So we actually worked on this musical for 3 years. So what we wanted to highlight of the working culture, the overworking culture in Malaysia, but we don't want to do it in such a way that it's it's documentary or offensive. So we turned it into a musical. So you will get it's humorous because we have very interesting songs inside. So one of the highlight of the songs is called "Steal Some Bones." So in direct translation, it means "curi tulang."
Curi tulang, yes.
Yeah. So the singer goes, steal some bones when your boss leaves you on your own. So things like that helps with.
He can sing too.
Yeah. No, like this one's to enough to not get arrested lah. Yeah. So basically, sound design wise, how we complement that is that whenever we are doing something, it has to be very sharp. When I say sharp, it means that it has to go bam, bam, bam. Because, every scene, something major happens in every scene. And sound design plays a major role. Like when there's a scene where we have a corporate BOMO that comes out. So when the corporate comes out, the thunderstorm has to be big, has to be, thunderous. We have a scene where Edwin, our protagonist, he passed away. So the moment he drops on the floor, the siren has to come in immediately. So these are the kind of elements that we're dealing with. And within that, we also have subtle elements where when the Bomo start casting magic, there's sort of that magic sound. This, we had to go through quite a few iterations to just get the sound right. Because I think with magic,
yes,
you can either sound so right or so 1950s Disney,
Yes,
at the same time. So that's what Kirthana told me, by the way.
The last iteration for me as more of the magic Bomo type of effect that I can see clearer.
I see.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for supporting both our shows. It means a lot. It means a lot to us. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for showing it. Yeah.
Because initially, I think we were not sure how to use the LED screen properly. So it took a lot of work with our lights, our projector, our designer to come up with the idea that how can we use animations on the screen to complement our sound design as well, and vice versa. Sometimes it starts with we have a sound design, how can we use that to further enhance? But yeah, definitely interesting.
Yeah. We you can't design things that just for no purpose, right?
Yeah,
it's all need to be counted on.
Yeah, I think sound design in theater also quite essential, and but
Certainly.
a lot of audience or people will not realize their exist actually.
That's
So-
job well done.
Yeah, so we have to make sound very natural, but yet when we tell people actually you are hearing from 10 speaker from this proscenium, and people say 10 speaker, then they will ask why you need so many speaker around it, but the fact is we have to put more speaker in the small space to create a very natural sound. So it won't force the one source of sound from one direction. So it all come from all directions of the proscenium or any stage. I mean, yeah, it will create that magic of it sounds very natural, very clear, very loud, but it is not forced from one source of speaker. And also this show actually we put a lot of speaker, the Dream Musical we put 10 speaker in the proscenium, also 6 monitor speakers at back. So the layer of the speakers actually create a different scene. There's one scene actually Ilany go back to the backstage. It's a set behind the set. she changed clothes. So we turned off all the front part and just left the monitor to have the sound. So immediately, guys, the audience will feel like, oh, suddenly she really at the back to change clothes. It's very natural kind of effect. And these have to place a lot of speakers and design the space and calculate all the things to achieve it. So this is the things that maybe audience won't really realize. If you're like, oh, well, how come like that? A lot of audience will like, how come like that one? How come like that one?
I also didn't realize that. I'm probably going to steal it, but thank you very much.
No. I mean,
Thank you for sharing the process.
It's a good share. For you,
great,
if you know how to use it, the things, and actually the layer will create out from different position of the speakers.
Because I'm a music person, so for me the music is we wrote the music, so it's the music person is as the music person we understand that in the musical, right? You make or break your musical with the music lah. But it's very interesting to hear from especially how much depth you put into the sound design, which is something that it strikes me. Oh, okay. I can do that. I should consider that too, putting more speakers so you can find Terence next time.
Actually, this experience is come from Fender of the Opera. Last time they come into Malaysia, the Istana Budaya. So I spent all my money to buy the most expensive seats, the tickets, to sit right in the middle to listen to what happens. Actually, I realized they have like more than 50 speakers around the position of Istana Budaya.
Gosh.
Every spot. I asked, because my friend is musician in Istana Budaya, I asked like how they do it, and they were like, because they have a music box, scenes, right, the monkey music box, and the sound is from that spot. So I asked like how they achieve that. So they purposely built a speaker just under the stage to play that one particular sound effects.
To make it sound that it's coming
from the
there.
sound music box. And this is how they achieve it. So it's like, then I get the idea, like put more speakers to achieve things that you want. So
Does this require huge budget?
yes, this is the most difficult part, because I mean, in Malaysia, like just now, Kelvin behind it, I would say like the dollar, our ringgit wins cannot stretch. So we also have to fight with the budget, and we have to use whatever we have, and also to see, which one is the most priority to put on. So
But I'm very curious though, when you design the music and the sound process, is this the same process? Because the sound you share about the process of creating all the sound, but when you write music, how do you actually separate them?
Frankly speaking, for us composers, once we've done our job already, we hand it to the MD, which during the second iteration, which you will meet later, which is Lee Han, and then it's his problem.
This is a musical director's problem.
Because at the end, because we want to give him his direction, like what he thinks that will work. Then the music direction will work together with the sound design. Then making sure that it fits the vision of the director. But then the director will then talk to us, say, does it fit the vision of the writer?
Correct.
And the composer itself. So there's a whole complicated chain which I don't want to get to.
What about this production? Is it like the music come out first or the storyline come out first?
Story first. This was a story first. So we actually had this idea of writing, working it as a story that represents the culture of overworking. And we were saying that how can we turn this, Terence actually has a story for this, because he used to work in law. So he had this boss where he heard this story from a boss where he told his worker that, I don't care how much you work. Even if you die tomorrow, I'm going to raise you up and send you back to work. So that would scare.
That was a real story.
That's a real story.
From a law firm.
Yeah. So that was scary. That was scary. But Terence looked at it being Terence, and he went, "Oh,
I can use this."
And that's the whole premise, lah. What if you were brought back from you died, and you were brought back just to work?
Wow.
So when he wrote the draft, then I really liked it. I said, okay, I designed the music, but it took a long time. Really took a long time. We meet twice, 3 times a week for 3 years.
Can you guys share with the audience regarding how different it is to design sound as compared to compose the music? But you both deal with both, right?
Yeah. I did compose some music before, but composed music is more to the elements and the style, what kind of feelings you want to create. But sound design is more to a technical side for me. I think it's because I want to let audience to go into the story a bit more. Like you have like 3D or 4D kind of sensations in theater. So people always say theater is a magic place. We are part of the magicians to create the magic to let audience to hear it. So
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, typically when we do sound design, it basically I would say that writing the music is like building the house, but sound design and the technical part of things is what turns into home. Yeah.
So the sound design would be your lighting, your furniture.
I mean, it all has to work together. I mean, there's no element that can exist independently. So if I would, for me, once I write the music, then when we do the music, we realize, maybe this part here, we need to slow down because it does not show the particular emotion. So then as composers, we focus on the music within the music element. However, because being a musical, music is the biggest element within.
Yeah.
So pretty much 70 to 80% of the show is with music. So how do we work with sound designers to make sure that we can also keep the purity of the music, but at the same time we can enhance other parts of the show. Yeah. So one of the things which I'm pretty proud, I don't know if it was intentional, but every time we had a structure, every time someone walks up the structure, you could hear them going up.
Cracking.
Cracking.
Yeah.
I don't think that was intended.
That's why I thought, is it stable?
but that gave kind of effect. I mean, it felt like,
a bit like the horror movie type of creepiness. Yes.
I think that one have to. It's just maybe I think but we use good quality wood. Okay.
I think perhaps since it worked, that you want to add it in for next iteration.
Yeah. It works. Please use more creaky wood next time. Go to your grandfather's house and dig all this old lumber, and then just pray it doesn't break.
What qualities are needed for an aspiring writer to create works like this?
Okay. I think that's probably more for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, question again?
What qualities are needed for an aspiring writer to create works like you did?
I think the first thing and foremost, truthfully speaking, is your gung-ho-ness.
Gung-ho-ness. Wow, let's go. This word.
So
gung-ho-ness.
I think there is I mean, nobody starts off writing musical as amazing writers. Let's be for real. Okay, everybody thinks that they can, but until you really try it, then the biggest you will come across your first big hurdle where you want to do 10 different genre of songs, but then again you have to tie all 10 genres into a thematic things. You cannot just put rap because I like rap. You cannot just put, so everything has a theme ongoing, and then that will be probably the most difficult to design because you have to have your idea. Once you got your idea down, you have to relay the idea to 40 people, and they have to share your vision with you, and they have to like what you do, and they have to be passionate what you do. So writing the music is, for me, it's 50% of the work. The other 50% is definitely trying to get people to be on board with you in the project, because it took us about 3 years to write the songs. We literally spent easily thousands of hours just sitting down, reworking the song, and just so that we feel in the end product that we feel that represents there is a certain sound to the musical, where it does not stray too far away from what we intended it to be.
Can you explain what you mean by there is a certain sound?
Okay, say for example, Working Dead is it's a corporate show. Okay, so a corporate show, one of the things that the elements that we need to incorporate is mundane, repetition. That's why when we begin the song, it goes with da 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 dum, cha 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 cha. It literally just repeats because it's to represent that I'm doing this again and again and again. And then all the chants, call the clients, it has a certain chant. And this is not done accidentally. It was done very intentionally from the start. That I wanted it to be, I wanted to represent an office. It's always very hard.
Create the mood.
Yes. Yeah. Of course, then we have our big songs and everything. But I think generally, if you look through the whole musical, there is a certain feel that we're going for, which is that no matter what you do, we are always doing back the same things again.
So to you,
Yeah.
Terence, how do you measure your excellence outside of a recognition of by the awards? Besides getting awards, you know.
Besides getting awards,
Yeah.
so
How do you measure your excellence?
how do I? Okay. Actually, my background is a bit fun. Actually, just I talked to Kelvin, and actually last time was a bassoon player, and I'm a sound engineer, and for the show, and actually now I have a bakery cafe, and I'm a
Yes.
baker myself.
Yes.
So
I've been.
thank you. Yeah. So to measure the success of my work, actually every day I get improved a little bit from yesterday. I will consider myself a bit success already. I mean not success. I mean I will feel contented. And I feel I'm moving forward. I keep learning. I keep absorb a lot of different informations. This is how I feel measure my success.
That's great. That's great. So keep learning and keep improving yourself, and that will be your success path. Thank you for sharing with us, you two, and congratulations again upon your nomination. And thank you for sharing your time with us, and I'll see you next time.